reason why you're struggling of letting go of your past is because you're not living in the present moment. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. And yes, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. With that being said, there is no right or wrong way to heal yourself. So always and only take what resonates, as well as leave the rest, and grab your pen and your paper and be prepared to take notes. In this video, we're going to go over 5 reminders as well as 5 recommendations on how to stay present and what that looks like to you, as well as 5 disclaimers and 5 things to be aware of. Starting off with number 1, starting off with the disclaimers and what you should be aware of is that just because you made certain choices in your past, or just because you've gone through certain things in your past, doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. The only time it's going to be the end of the world is when it's the end of the world and we no longer wake up. You have to realize that in this life, you are meant to live, you're meant to experience. Some days may be good, some days may be bad, but it's a journey. Until you realize that life is about living and experiencing and learning and just opportunities, you're constantly going to beat yourself up over things that you cannot change, which is going to go into the second thing. Until you make peace with yourself, until you accept your past for what it is and realize that you can learn from it and that you can overcome it, you're constantly going to think that you're a failure, you can't move forward, and that you have to be paralyzed. This is why a lot of people suffer from PTSD. They're holding on to memories and experiences from their past, but they're not being present. And as life goes on, so are you. The things that you did years ago, months ago, it's not affecting you now. It's not in your current reality, It's only going to affect you if you did not realize why you had to experience that moment. And that's going to be part of the recommendations. So the third thing you have to understand with letting go of your past and being in the present moment is to allow yourself grace. If you made certain choices that you weren't proud of because maybe you weren't taught and shown, maybe you didn't have the finances and the resources and the tools and the guidance, why do you feel like you should be mean to yourself? If you already had to struggle and go through abuse and trauma and etc., why do you feel like you should be mean and harsh to yourself? If everything and everybody is coming at you, or if you've experienced certain things, if you're the black sheep or whatever it was, why do you feel like you need to be hard to yourself? And I said that 3 times because I'm just trying to understand, why are you being so mean to yourself? You do realize that you made certain choices in your past based off of what you were taught and shown, whether it was negative or positive, it was right or wrong, whether you learned it from your family, school, coworkers, or even being influenced. Especially when you know you come from a certain background, if you know you grew up in poverty, or you know you grew up without family and friends and support, if you know you grew up a certain way, you know you've been abused in SA, and why do you feel like it's fair to continue to beat yourself up? So while you figure that out and you let me know, we're going to get started with the recommendations now and the reminders. The first thing that I'm going to recommend to you in order for you to be present is to acknowledge what has happened to you in your past. Now, of course, when you guys watch these videos, I'm speaking from experience. This is a skill. This is something that you have to practice. This is going to take time. Don't feel like you have to rush. There's no timeline to healing. There's no timeline to success. And that's why in the beginning of the intro, I tell you guys, there is no right or wrong way to heal. So take what I say that resonates, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly. And that's the same thing when it comes to life. You have to be able to take your time. You have to be able to give yourself grace, because when you're letting go of something, especially if you were not taught and shown, once again, how to communicate, how to articulate yourself, how to be vulnerable, how to feel safe, how to feel seen, or you feel judged, you have to realize that you're unlearning 20, 30, 40 years worth of trauma and abuse that you've been taught and shown. And unlearning information alone and by yourself takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. You don't have to rush your healing process. You don't have to feel discouraged, but you have to be practical when you give yourself grace. You have to be practical about letting go of your past. But in order for you to do that, I need you to identify what has happened to you in your past and how has it affected you moving forward. And most importantly, what you said or what you didn't do. Because a lot of times the reason too why people are so stuck is because when we were in those moments of trials and tribulations or adversity, there are some things that we either said or there are some things that we didn't say. There are some things that we did or there are some things that we wish we could go back on. Instead of regretting the things that you did or did not say, just acknowledge what it was. Because it's like, once you acknowledge that you could have said certain things or that you wish you could have did certain things, you can now move forward and you know how to handle situations or things that happen to you, because you're not going to be able to go back in time and rewrite things. They already happened. But until you acknowledge that you felt maybe hurt, your feelings were invalid, or you went through certain things and you didn't communicate, or you did, or whatever it was, it's constantly going to be a loop. And that's why people have these cycles and are struggling with personality disorders and, like I said, PTSD and ODD and ADHD, and have all these diagnoses. Like, all of this stuff is internal. Like, a lot of people that are prescribed medications and go to psychiatrists and doctors when it comes to mental health, and even therapists, have just been extremely traumatized and don't have anybody to confide in, don't have anybody to talk to, don't have anybody to express themselves, because maybe you grew up in a household that was dysfunctional and you weren't able to be vulnerable. You weren't able to speak up for yourself. Maybe you were bullied. Maybe you were touched on and you didn't want to say anything because you were afraid. Like, it's a lot of fear. It's just everything that's low vibrational. The third thing, or the second thing, because I forgot what number I'm on, is that when you're learning to give yourself grace, you have to be honest. You have to be vulnerable. Like, you cannot be afraid. You cannot be embarrassed. You can't be ashamed, because everybody has gone through things. There's a lot of people who have a lot of skeletons in their closet and they act like they haven't gone through nothing. They have. That's why I created this platform, because I have no problem coming on this internet, because I'm the same person on and off camera when it comes to what I've gone through. I've never been embarrassed. I've never been ashamed, because I know what I've went through behind closed doors, and I know how it's affected me, especially when you're somebody and you're minding your business, or, like I said, you're just living your life and certain things happen to you, because that's going to be a different topic within itself. I'm trying to keep it on related of this video. You are going to sometimes encounter certain people, places, and things who are not the best of people, and they do things to you, sabotage, hurt, and harm you. It's not to invalidate that, but we don't want to focus too much on that, because, like I said, that's going to be a different topic within itself. But it's like, at the end of the day, when it comes to letting go in your past, all you can do is be responsible for yourself, because the people and the places and things who hurt and harm you, they're going to be removed out of your life. And you have to be the one that still has to continue to live your life despite what has happened to you. It's effed up, but until people heal themselves, hurt people are going to hurt people. I don't condone it, but that's the reality of it. It doesn't make it right. But if you're not speaking up, if you feel embarrassed, if you don't talk about how certain things affected you, or if you don't take the time to heal and to grieve, once again, there's no timeline, you're constantly going to hold on to people's energy that doesn't belong to you. And that's why a lot of people end up losing themselves, whether it's in toxic relationships, toxic family members. Don't allow people to project and deflect onto you that it changes who you are as a person. And even if you grew up that way since a child, like, people have always been mean and nasty and that's all you know, you're more than that. If you're watching these videos, you're more than that. We have a high vibration. We have a loving, mature audience. So that's just that. Like, it's no reason for you to not continue to live your life just because certain things happen to you. And of course, when you're grieving, like I said, it's not a one size fit all. It could take years, it could take days, it could take months. Once again, I'm speaking from experience, but because I'm speaking from experience, this is why I created this platform. Like, you're not alone. And sometimes you may not have somebody to talk to. This is why I tell you guys to like, comment, engage, DM me on Instagram. All my social media platforms are down below. Book a service in a session. And if you're not able to book a service in a session, to watch these videos, to let me know what applies to you. Like I said, take what resonates, leave the rest, because it's like, life is going to go on. And the longer you hold on to memories from your past and you're not staying in your current reality, time is going to go by. Time is going to go by. It's literally about to be the end of August 2025. 2020 to 2025, quick. 2005 to 2010, quick. You're only going to get older in life, and it doesn't make sense to hold on to grudges and to be bitter and to be angry. Like, I refuse to hold on to any bitterness. Like, I can't stay mad. I cannot stay mad. I don't care about people that much to stay mad at them. And I've never been that type of person. You see, when you know who you are, when you love yourself, when you heal, and you guys will get there, you will realize people are not even worth your time and energy. Like, if people don't want to like you or people don't want to be for you, then they're not. It's very simple. And once you realize that things are going to happen in life, and you learn how to problem solve, and you learn how to express yourself, you learn how to be honest, you learn how to be 100% confident in yourself, your life will get simpler. Your life will become easy. But you have to do the work. Like, you can't continue to sweep your problems underneath the rug. You can't act nonchalant. You can't act like things are not bothering you, because they aren't. So it's just like, I really appreciate you guys for commenting and letting me know and being vulnerable, because once again, this is a judge-free environment. I'm not here to judge you or make fun of you, because like I said, everybody goes through things, and if people try to act like they don't have skeletons in their closets, they're lying. And those be the main people who like try to humble you or speak down onto you are the same people who have their nose turned up. And it's just like, be for real. Be for real. No grown adult, like, I have no respect for grown adults like that. Now, if you're under the age of like 25 and like 23, you still have some evolving and some growing to do. But don't be over 30 years old and you act like that, because it's degrading. It's very degrading. Now, as you are taking the time to heal, as you're taking the time to just, be vulnerable, and you're identifying what has happened to you in your past, and you acknowledge how it feels, I want you to now come up with solutions moving forward, how you can react and respond. So like, sometimes you're not always going to get clarity. Like I said, the people and the places and things, if people have done things to you, they're gone. Now, this doesn't mean that people can't change and that, they can't become better. But from experience, anybody who knew me for the first 27 years of my life, I don't know you now. Meaning, once somebody does something, and it goes both ways. This is why it's really important to be a good person and to be respectful to yourself and others. But anybody who's did anything to me, I've forgiven them. I don't want nothing to do with them, and they're not going to do nothing to do with me. So it's just like, unless people come back and they change their ways, you got to learn how to forgive yourself. Like I said, we got to learn how to be responsible for ourselves. We'll talk about other people in a different video, but it's like, F those people. Don't give them that much energy and that much attention. Like I said, I've never allowed anybody to. I'm 28, about to be 29 very soon, and I never will. It's not worth it. And I'm telling you from experience, as you grow older. Like, this doesn't mean that what people did was right, but it's like, what could you do about it? If you love yourself and you care about yourself, the best thing that you can do is heal yourself, separate yourself, yell, cry, scream, and shout, book a service, confide in me, confide in God, ancestors, universe, whatever you believe in, take what resonates, leave the rest, seek therapy, like, go see a psychiatrist. Other than that, life is gonna life. And it's like, you don't get to live your life because you're so worried about what people did and said. And it's just like, that's not who you are. So we're gonna give all that negative energy back to where it came from. We're gonna return back to sender, and we're gonna leave it at that. And we're gonna continue to live our best life. So I challenge you guys to figure out solutions with the problems that you have. So you can write down 3 problems. You can write down 2 problems on your notes in the comment section. And even when you engage in the comment section, let me know what problem or difficulty that you've experienced, so therefore I can help you come up with a solution. But it's like, don't say you want to heal. Don't say you want help. You've been praying and asking for a sign. This is your sign. You're going to take it or you're not. Over here, we're very much so solution based. I don't make excuses. So it's like, you're either in or you're out. We don't do 50-50. And yeah, I'm not doing the back and forth. Like I said, I'm grown. And as I continue to grow, as I continue to mature, because this is the content for mature audience. And mature audience is not a specific age or gender or race, but it's how you operate, how you carry yourself. You don't have time to be stuck in the past. We have time to be in the current reality. Like, you can learn. Like I said, just because you went through certain things, if you didn't have the resources, you didn't have the tools, what could you have done? You made the choices that you did based off of that moment. It's okay. Now, unless, like I said, you don't wake up, that's the only time you need to be worried. But at that point, would it matter? That's what people feel to realize. Like, life is so serious. Life is very much so serious. There's a time and a place where you need to be serious, and there's a time and a place where you can enjoy yourself. Your life doesn't always have to be negative or bad just because you go through things. And like I said, the more you go through things and you realize how it's affecting you and why you're going through it, you'll learn, you'll have discernment, you'll gain wisdom. And a lot of times too, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna end off the video with this, the reason why we go through certain things is because we're not paying attention. We're not being intentional. We're not being purposeful. Like, we're not moving based off of what it is that we want. So it's like, if you don't even know who you are, that's the real reason why you had to go through the things that you went through. It's not to punish you. It's not to hurt you. It's not to harm you, but to show you what you want to do in this life and what you don't. We have free will. So with that being said, Continue to give yourself grace, continue to grieve, continue to take your time, continue to isolate yourself, continue to pour into yourself, continue to seek therapy, continue to watch these videos, continue to take what resonates, continue to let me know. That's your homework assignment, that's your challenge. If you're new here, I challenge you guys because once again, this isn't educational content. We motivate, inform, and educate. I challenge you to figure out what has happened to you, how it's made you feel. I want you to write down 3 to 5 things, if not one things that you feel like you can't seem to move forward from, and why, as well as how it's affecting you in your life and what you can do moving forward. And just most importantly, taking your time with letting go, because once you let it go, you'll be okay. But you don't have to rush, you don't have to compare yourself, and you don't have to be sad all day, every day. But when you grieve, you're going to go through a period of withdrawal. So some days may be good, some days may be bad. This is why it's really important to have a schedule and a routine, to have your days where you rest and you're not engaging with people. Then you have your days when you're speaking to people, because you don't want to block future blessings and opportunities from certain people, places, and things who genuinely meant to be in your life, who genuinely want you to do well. Like myself, a lot of people, they get easily triggered and their demons are a hold her. They feel all some type of way. I don't care. The reason why I'm saying I don't care is because if you're meant to see the message, you're going to see the message. Now, you can go to God, ancestors, universe to confirm it, but if you continue to watch, that's on you. I'm not here to sugarcoat anybody. I'm not here to stroke anybody's ego, because I don't want that done to me in return. I genuinely care about the community that I create. So thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. Thank you for giving it a big thumbs up. Thank you for liking and engaging. Like I said, let me know what you guys want to talk about. Let me know your problems. Don't worry about judgment. Like I said, I block or I just ignore people who just don't need to be here. And once you realize that you can overcome your circumstances and not be stuck in the past, you're not going to external validation and external people that are not meant to be a part of your life. It doesn't matter. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms. Once again, all the information is down below, and check me out on my Instagram and on TikTok, because I will be going live answering you guys' questions. You can DM me on Instagram as well if you're not booking your service and your sessions, or like I said, maybe it's too personal and too confidential on the internet, which is understandable. But it's like, the only reason why you feel stuck and stagnant is because you haven't let go of your past. You haven't made peace with it. You haven't talked about it. And maybe it's time, not maybe, it's time for you to talk about it. It's 2025. It's the end of August when I am uploading this. Let me know what day, what time you're watching this, and what you think. Okay? Till next time. Peace.